This one is objectively the best of the franchise, and if you disagree, we can fight it out in the comments like real family. It's day 118 of 365. Today's movie, Fast 5. Joining Ticket Stub Movie Club is like becoming part of a big film-loving family. We do these daily Stub reviews as well as monthly movies for deeper discussion. We have a Discord and so much more. Discover the club through the link in my profile. Directed by Justin Lin and starring Vin Diesel, Paul Walker, and Dwayne Johnson, this is my favorite of the Fast and Furious movies. It's time to talk about family. We've covered one of these movies already in the series back on day 45, where I talked about Fast and Furious. That's the fourth movie. I hadn't seen the other three in theaters. Unfortunately, I don't have ticket stubs for those. But from here on, I have seen all of them in theaters, and we will discuss all of them in this series. Needless to say, I was revving my engines to go see this in 2011 because of having liked the first four movies so much. Knowing that Dwayne Johnson was here was really legitimizing this as a series as well. It really just felt that much bigger for it. And because of these amazing set pieces, I walked out of the theater a diehard fan. Like I said, I've gone to see all of them in theaters ever since, just because of this one. I'm honestly curious if they'll ever be able to top this one. I doubt it because of the way they've shifted the tone of the franchise, but I'm thankful just to have this one. I've revisited it a lot since it came out, so here in 2025, I'd love to discuss the three things that I love about Fast 5. The first thing that I love so much about this movie is that it's an unofficial Oceans movie. There's a couple of these. If you've seen Logan Lucky, that's Oceans 7-Eleven. We could call this Oceans 5, I guess, if we wanted to, because it's the fifth movie in the franchise, and this is the best idea that they've had in the franchise so far. If you remember from my first video, I talked about how Point Breaky the first four movies are. Functionally, all four of them are just remakes and redos of Point Break, pairing two characters together to go after one criminal using fast cars and crazy stunts. It's just Point Break. Fast 4 ends directly leading into this movie, so this is new uncharted territory. If you'll also recall, the MCU has just launched around this time. We have two movies coming out, and Thor comes out around the same time as this one, so that's three movies into the MCU. That's going to grow into a gigantic franchise, so the franchise smell is in the air, and Vin Diesel wants that. Fast 5 is his ticket to show that this thing has legs, so they get Dwayne Johnson involved. That kind of gives legitimacy to this series. The subsequent movies kind of turn into superhero movies because of the MCU. So I posit that this is one of the best because it's the most heist movie of them. Taking notes from Oceans is so smart because it makes the movie grounded in its heist. Even though this is a kind of high concept world, this ends up still being the most grounded, with its final heist being literally dragging around on the ground. Everything from here gets up into the air and into outer space by the time we get to the 10th movie. So it's going to go crazy places. If you're not into that, the back half of this series you're not gonna like. And the front half of this series can feel a little dated. This movie holds up even to this day. It doesn't feel dated. The heist feels fresh and fun. They even have the brainstorming section where they're trying to figure out the driving path to make this work, just like in an Oceans movie. This was a genius move on their part. Honestly, if they'd have been able to stay in this lane, I think the rest of the series would have benefited from it. I'm not a hater. I like the other movies, but they do get a little superhero-y, super spy by the time we get Hobbs and Shaw involved, and we have people falling out of 6-story windows and crashing onto cars and surviving with barely enough injuries to keep them off of the playing field for the couple days. The second thing that I love about this movie is the finale. My argument is that that's worth the price of admission on its own. This is the best heist that we will see in the series overall, and probably one of my favorite heists in cinema history as well. There's so much of this heist that was done practically. That's enough to blow my mind right there. But the idea of a full safe swap out to be the end of your big car movie, heist movie, that's just too good. You truly can't top this if you're going to stick within the heist genre. From here, they shift into spies and superheroes, so less heisty, but not for lack of trying. There are still other heists to come in the series. They just have not topped this heist, in my opinion. It comes down to a cowboy Wild West style draw out on the bridge that works so well visually to just center everything in on the action of our characters. Dwayne Johnson is giving a career best as far as his action movies go. He's got some other stellar work, including his movie with Benny Safdie that came out this year. But as far as his action lead stuff goes, this is one of his best. The fight with him and Vin Diesel in the middle is also probably worth the price of admission. And listen, I know about all the drama. I know apparently both of them are drama queens off screen and had so many issues with what was going to happen within that fight and who could win and who had to lose. That doesn't matter to me. This is WWE. I want to see people beating each other up and having a good time doing it. This is about me, the audience, not about them. The third thing that I love about this movie, and I've alluded to it in the last 2 points, this is the last of the grounded Fast and Furious movies as well. I think that's worth highlighting, not because I hate on the fact that they go superhero in the last ones. And let me tell you, Vin Diesel punches another car with a car in the 9th movie. I don't know how they pulled it off. I'm not saying he hit the car. I says he punches another car with a car. The first 4 movies were much more grounded, going for that Point Break kind of feel. And with this one taking its notes from Oceans, I think that's what opened them up to be willing to do more than just stunts and cars. The heist elements, the fight scenes, the one-upsmanship that's on display here kind of hits the peak across the series. If you need something to be semi-realistic to invest and believe in it, from 6 on, it's going to get harder and harder. That was a big criticism of these movies as they came out. Before this one, they're a little too grounded. It's a little too earthbound. And so I like that this movie kind of hits the hump right in the middle of all 10 of these. It's the one I revisit the most. This is the one that if someone tells me they want to watch one of these movies but don't want to commit to all 10, I have them watch 5 with me because it's the most fun that they're going to have without needing to really know anybody. This is technically, chronologically, the first time they're getting the whole team together, because as we find out at the end of 6, all of this is actually happening before Tokyo Drift. They retcon themselves at a certain point. And even that is confusing enough as it is. 5 avoids all that. It's kind of in its own little hub off by itself down in Brazil. And I really dig it for that. I like that it gets to be its own thing. But what do you think? Am I totally off base here saying that this is the best of the series? What's your favorite Fast and Furious movie? I compared this to the MCU earlier in this video, but we're actually going to switch over to the MCU for our next film. We're talking about Thor next, and I'll see you tomorrow.